Hi, Coach. Given the back-to-back, any change in rotations or lineups tonight to help with the fatigue factor?
We'll see as we go. We'll see what it looks like and play it accordingly.
And Coach, not to take anything away from yesterday's win, but once again, the Pelicans were not able to win the third quarter. In fact, the opponent had almost as many points in the third quarter as they did the entire second half. How do you guard against that tonight especially?
I mean, it's a 48-minute game. I mean, so we played good first quarters. We haven't played good third quarters. I don't really have an explanation, and I'm not going to change things up, based on what I've seen so far. It's a 48-minute game. I mean, there's teams who don't start well. There's teams who don't finish well. I mean, we just need to get better, period.
Coach, you're going up against a team that's had a lot of lineup changes this year. They've had 13 and 17 games. Obviously, the roster's turned around a little bit with the trades. I'm just curious, how difficult is it to prepare for a team like that when they're trying to figure things out on their end? How do you scout and how do you prepare?
Well, I mean, we've seen what they do. I mean, they've got great guards. They're getting their offense basically out of their guard spots and their two centers, particularly Christian Wood as their leading scorer. But where this team's really been good is with their defense. I mean, they've really embraced the defensive end of the floor. And the challenge for us at that end is, their best defenders are their forwards. Tate, Nwaba, Sterling Brown, Daniel House, and obviously P.J. Tucker. And that's where our two leading scorers play. So a big challenge tonight at both ends, but they're a team that poses some challenges for our offense.
All right, I'm going to try to word this correctly. This is our first back-to-back of the year, and I was curious as to your thoughts on the second game of the back-to-back, especially when Houston's coming in on an off day. Or things, do they always play out as you think they do, or your experience over the years, you're talking about fatigue on one end and a team coming in fresh? It's just, does it ever play out that way?
I mean, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, just like with every other game, I think that the back-to-backs, every game has its own personality, and you've got to get into it and see. Certainly we're prepared to go deeper into the bench than we did last night. We'll just see how the game plays out.
Stan, 9 turnovers for you guys last night. I know you're not going to hit 21 threes every single night, but was that game an example that the ball can be popping and flying around the court and y'all still can have a low turnover total?
Well, obviously, yeah, it is, Christian. We can have a low turnover total. We need to have that. I said before the game yesterday, I guess it was on the ESPN interview, Ryan Ruocco said, if you could just change one thing, what would it be? And I said, wow, that's hard because we need improvement in a lot of areas. But if I could have one thing, it'd be the turnovers. I mean, because it affects you at both ends. And so that 9 was an encouraging number. But we've had games like that before. We had games 8 against San Antonio on a night we didn't shoot well and got a win. It's a huge thing for us, and we want to try to be more consistent there. But that was a good performance last night.
What's up, Stan? This is Will from The Athletic. 2 straight games for you guys where you finished with season high in 3-point attempts. Just what have you seen as far as the way y'all are generating those shots and just the quality of those looks the past 2 games?
Well, the quality's been good, and I think that the way we have generated them in large part is, on the attack, help comes, make the pass to the open man. I mean, pretty simple basketball, and I think, Brandon and Zion have done a very good job the last 2 games of creating shots and opportunities for their teammates, because those 2 guys draw a lot of attention, and they have not only been willing passers the last 2 games, but they've put the ball on target. And, guys like Bled and Lonzo have stepped up and knocked down shots.
Coach, apologies for the randomness of this, but how nice has it been to walk onto the court with a pullover as opposed to having a suit jacket and tie on every game?
Yeah, it's one of the few good things about this ridiculous season. You know, it's that's really enjoyable to be more comfortable out there.
Hey, Coach, this is Ollie with the Bird Rights. I'm curious, were you able to tell yesterday, you and the players, that the crowd size doubled? Were they at all an influence or give you guys any kind of momentum or anything like that? Were you able to tell?
Until you just said it, I had no idea that the crowd size doubled. I didn't know. I'm glad we've got people there, but no, I didn't know the crowd size had doubled.
And Coach, if I could follow up then, since you guys have a 4-3 record at home, do you attribute that to anything at all?
I don't know. I mean, the home and away has been sort of crazy this year across the league, so I really don't know. And the sample size is so small still that it's really hard to tell.
Thanks, Coach.
Great, thank you very much, Coach.
Next, that's your left side.